Welcome back, everyone, to Vegas Unveiled. One thing you should be learning about Las Vegas from our show is just how many varied performers there are out there doing so many different acts all the time. So there's really something for everyone in this city.
Absolutely. And many performers and companies provide more than one show or experience, which adds to the endless variety of shows here in Las Vegas.
Our next guest spans a bit of both of these worlds in his own right. He's an MC, performer, singer, and hosts entertaining murder mysteries. But his company also produces several other shows featuring many other performers.
Jay Joseph operates A Touch of Mystery and More. It's a company that offers a variety of different entertainment options and shows.
Hi guys, thanks so much for having me on the show today. I'm Jay Joseph with A Touch of Mystery and More Entertainment Group. We've been in Las Vegas for 20 years now. I started the company in Los Angeles in 1985, and it's traveled with me wherever we go. And A Touch of Mystery started out with just doing interactive murder mysteries for private parties, corporate events, fundraisers, and it's grown into all different types of interactive entertainment because I had clients that were asking me, do you do anything other than mysteries? And I was thinking to myself, well, sure we do, because every one of the actors that works with me does something. They're either a magician, a musician, they have their own cabaret show. So we offer MCs, cabaret shows, production shows. We do trade show ambassadors as well, our interactive entertainers. We'll do that as well. And the murder mysteries actually are a wonderful way to get people over to your booths. We've done live interactive murder mysteries at the trade show booths as well. So we do our interactive murder mysteries for Lowry's The Prime Rib is the restaurant we've been with for the past 19 years in Las Vegas. We were with Lowry's The Prime Rib in Beverly Hills for 11 years. We were on Royal Caribbean on 7 ships for 2 years, and we also did one of the Norwegian ships. I've been a ham, I guess you could say, since I was a kid. My mom, I don't remember this, but my mom, I grew up in Los Angeles, and she tells a story of when I was 3 years old and we were at POP, Pacific Ocean Park, and she turned around to go into a store and couldn't find me, and she came outside and I was dancing the flamenco, and I made $13 in tips that day. So I've been performing since I'm 3 years old, did theater arts in high school, sang in choirs, then started doing theater. Outside of high school, I was doing nightclubs and performing in nightclubs. I originally thought I was going to be an actor, and I had 2 pilots that I was filming, and the first one, the writers went on strike. The second one's the directors went on strike, and then I was about to do a third one, and the actors went on strike. So I took that as a sign that I was not supposed to be doing television. And so I started singing in nightclubs and studio work, and then back into live theater. And then I decided I might as well, I've always been a writer. So I was in journalism in high school, and I thought I should be doing something different. And I had a manager at the time in LA who said he wanted to do something different for a party. And out of my mouth came, I'll write a murder mystery. I have no idea where that came from because I never wrote one before, but I have one of those think outside of the box minds. And, I'm sure I'm on some kind of Homeland Security search because I type in, how can someone die from something as I'm writing my stories, and come up with all of that. But if they would search me, they would know that I write the murder mysteries. So you have to be as much of a triple threat as possible for the entertainment business. You want to have as many skills as you can. I didn't take any vocal classes until actually I was 21 was the first time I took a vocal class. It came pretty natural to me, and yet my theater arts teacher, I saw him 20 years after I was in school, and he said, where did you get that voice? When did you have that? You didn't have it in high school. I had an okay voice in high school, but then I found a vocal coach, and for some people, a vocal coach as opposed to a vocal teacher is the way to go. Because the way he explained it to me, I'm very tactile and very visual in the way that I learn. And he explained it to me in a way that I just got it, and I was able to place everything. So I learned my skills were pretty natural. I was a natural dancer, a natural singer. The acting is the one that was interesting because to play someone who is more like myself has always been more difficult for me. But to play a character is great because I just get into the character, and usually the costume piece I'm wearing or the prop or the accent will put me right into it. But the skills pretty much were natural, and then in high school and in community theater and then regional theater and professional, and it just kept growing from there. What brought me to Las Vegas was I'm from the West Coast. I moved to New York in 1993 for theater, and very naively thought, oh, I'm going to be in New York. I'll be doing theater in New York. And the year I lived there, I was there 4 months because I was on tour the rest of the time, or doing summer stock, or on cruise ships. So when I was done with the East Coast doing regional theater in Pennsylvania, I decided I was going to move back to California or the West Coast. And I'd always wanted to move to Vegas and sing in production shows. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. So I drove cross country, came to Vegas. On the second day here, I had a place to live. On the third day, I had my first commercial, and then I had my first production shows. There is nothing better than a live audience because for instant gratification, number one, and you're right there with them, and there's that excitement. And it's really interesting because I grew up doing theater for the most part, and then when you went to television, theater has you bigger than life. And that's exactly what I tell my actors doing the murder mysteries is I want you as big as you can get. I'd rather rein you in than to ask for more. When you do television, it's very small. You got to fit it into the box. So for me, live theater, the excitement of live theater is not just the instant gratification, but it's knowing that you've got the people out there that you're performing to one-on-one. And in 2001, I did a national tour of Chicago with Billy Flynn. And that's definitely a high point in my career. We took our last flight September the 10th of 2001, flying back to LA, and woke up the morning of the 11th to the news. And the theater in Thousand Oaks wanted us to do the show that night. And this was a New York cast. And first of all, we were thinking, we don't even know if our friends or family are alive. Secondly, who's going to come? But by the second night when we went on, it was very quiet in the audience, and they slowly came around, and we thought to ourselves, this must have been what it was like to do the USO shows. And it really gave us a sense of joy and fulfillment to be able to get people away, which is what was happening right now, with us being home and quarantined and lockdown. It gives us an escape. And that's something that we're doing right now is we're doing our live stream murder mysteries. I kept thinking there's got to be some way for us to the creatives, it's like being in a cage when we're sitting at home all the time. And I was thinking there's got to be a way for us to still be creative and still bring entertainment to people. And I broached the subject to Lowry's The Prime Rib, and I said, how would you guys like to partner on doing live stream murder mysteries? You do the meal, we'll do the entertainment. And we did our first one last Thursday, and it went great. And we're going to start a whole series. So, as I said, we started with our murder mysteries, but now we have our MCs, we have strolling performers. Could be a musician, a magician, tarot card artist, a caricaturist. We have the scavenger hunts with a twist. And we also have flash mobs, dancing or singing with a twist as well. The twist with the flash mobs is that we will choreograph something for you, send it to you on YouTube. You'll learn it. Come on into town if you're not local. You'll meet with one of our choreographers who will teach your group. You'll come up with your own solo section, and you will perform it during the event and either be judged or just for entertainment. And the great thing about our flash mobs is that we do them as strolling as well. They're not just standalone. We pick up people as we go. We did this in Phoenix at a resort, and we had their cocktail party outside down about a mile away from where their dinner was going to be. And we started picking up people as we were moving them to the actual banquet hall. So we've got that. We have our trade show ambassadors. We have, as I said, our MCs. Anything interactive is pretty much what we do. We have our cabaret shows. We have our production shows. And, of course, our mysteries. Sure. The production shows that we offer are a group called Dangerous Curves. which is a female group, and they're known for their tight harmonies. And we have Swing City Dolls, who are known like the McGuire sisters, the Andrew sisters from the 1940s and 50s music. We have Steven Sorrentino with Voices in My Head, his show he's an amazing impersonator. And we have Tim Searcy as well, who does his own show. I have my own show that I've headlined on cruises. It's a tribute to the crooners, the Las Vegas crooners. We have a group called the Cool Tones, which is music from the 60s and 70s. And so a lot of the people that are actors and perform in the mysteries have their own shows as well. So those are either the cabaret or production shows for us. Thanks so much for having me, guys. It's been a blast. I look forward to hearing from you soon. And if you're interested in any of our entertainment options, I invite you to visit our website at www.atouchofmystery.com. You can also look us up on Facebook. So it would be facebook.com, A Touch of Mystery and more. And we're also on LinkedIn and Twitter, Instagram. So we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much, Jay. Ross, I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a huge murder mystery fan. And when I was growing up, and still to this day, I'm obsessed with Jessica Fletcher and Murder, She Wrote. So this is something that sounds right up my alley. And I'm so excited to check this out.
And I think it's something so different as well. And I'm sure most people wouldn't even know or think that this is an option.
Well, they know now, don't they?